Judge, in August of this year, I filed a motion, the state filed a motion to restrict disclosure of evidence. We indicated in the motion that during the trial we would seek to admit a video recording that depicts the killing of a human being, specifically the Dashcam video that's now at issue in this case, which is from a video recording system in Officer David Curtis's patrol car and depicts the murders of Officers David Curtis and Jeffrey Kokab. We cited the Florida Statute 406.13, which restricts disclosure of any photograph or video or audio recording that depicts or records the killing of a person. Under 406.136 sub 2, such recordings are confidential and exempt from Statute 119.07 sub 1 and Statute 24A, Article 1 of the State Constitution. Also under 406.13 sub 3 sub C, the custodian of the court recording may not permit any person other than the decedent's spouse to view, listen to, or copy the video recording without a court order. And while a criminal or administrative proceeding is exempt from this section, 406.135 sub 6 sub C specifically allows for a court in a criminal or administrative proceeding, upon good cause shown, to restrict or control the disclosure of a killing, crime scene, or similar photograph or video or audio recording. We, in the motion, sought to have the court enter an order under the authority of 406.136 sub 6 sub C to restrict disclosure of the Dashcam video once admitted into evidence at trial to viewing by the jury, the court, and the parties, the state and the defense only. Further, we sought an order sealing the video once it is in evidence and prohibiting any other access to the video other than to those parties. And as for good cause, we brought up the issues of the sensitive nature of the living relatives of these victims and the almost certain result of the rapid dissemination if the recording became available to the news media via the internet or other means. So, Your Honor, we sought to have disclosure of the audio, of the videotape, including its audio portion, to be restricted, and the court entered an order granting the state's motion. So we now ask, when we introduce this evidence, this Dashcam video recording, states B, as in boy, and publicize it to the jury this afternoon, we would ask for the court to order any in-court media to turn off their cameras and their audio recording equipment so that this video cannot be accessed by the media or anyone else other than the parties stated in the state's motion, which would include the jury, the court, the parties, and any court personnel that are necessary, such as a court reporter.
Your Honor, if I may, just for the record, indicate that the defense, at the time the motion was filed, said we were in favor of it. We are still in favor of it and have no objection to the request made by the state.
By way of procedural chronology here, this case was originally assigned to Judge Sleet in Division A, and he left that bench, and then another judge took his place, and that judge had to disqualify herself for procedural reasons. In any event, the case was administratively, by administrative order, reassigned to Trial Division 2, which is this court. But be that as it may, prior to my getting the case, Judge Sleet had entered an extensive order, and it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, counsel, that members of the media were allowed to view this, but with some restrictions. I think they weren't allowed to publish it, and there have been some reports about its contents, but there have simply been verbal disclosure. But be that as it may, subsequent to that, you appeared before this court, and in August of this year, by stipulation of the parties, I rendered an order to restrict disclosure. And again, the order directed that the only persons who could see and listen to, see the video and hear it. Of course, this is a public proceeding, so whatever is heard is going to be heard here. We limited to the jury, the court, the judge, the court reporter assigned to the case, the bailiffs, the defendant, all counsel, and the assistant state attorneys representing the state, and any investigators sit at any table. Now, obviously, I presume it's your intent now to play the video so it can be seen by the jury and heard by the jury, And this is an open proceeding, so it will be heard by the public. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
And your concern is that nothing be recorded,
Yes,
either video or audio recorded.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. To my knowledge, this was never, I mean, no media was ever made a party to any of these proceedings. I don't know that. I know it wasn't made a party to mine, but be that as it may, in keeping with this, with the status quo, I'll abide the ruling of Judge Sleet and abide my prior ruling, and I'll direct that, first of all, any member of the public not record anything that happens in this court, not only with respect to this item of evidence, but that should never happen in any courtroom. No member of the public can record anything, either video or audio. But I'll direct the media to not audio record, they can't video record because nobody can see it. But I'll direct the media to not audio record what is played with respect to the next state's exhibit.
Your Honor, if I may, just for the record's sake, clarify, before you took the case in Judge Sleet's 119 hearing pursuant to our motion, the press was represented, and they did make argument and present testimony at that hearing.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's my ruling with respect to the proceeding for the next 30 minutes or so. And again, whether the media seeks to have this released at a later time is a different matter, not before me right now. I'll abide that. Anything else? So make certain. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I might, are you asking
I need your
that-
name for the record, please.
My name is Larry Perkins.
Thank you.
Your Honor, am I to turn the camera off while this is being played, or just the microphones?
Well, the camera is not going to be able to video the video portion of it. You can't do it because of the way it's facing.
Correct.
But you're to return the audio recording portion of it all. Is that sufficient?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. You certainly can video the rest of the court proceeding.
Your Honor, may defense counsel also reposition?
Absolutely, yeah.
I assume it's not going to be broadcast here.
It will be broadcast.
Oh, it will be?
Yes, sir.
Judge, it just brought to my attention, apparently, there's, I guess, these cameras over here or somewhere mounted in the courtroom?
That's been taken care of.
Okay, because those were feeding photographs to a
That's been
remote
taken care of.
location.
Been
So
taken
those are off.
They're off now.
Those are off, okay.
And the reason for that is whatever happens with these security cameras is a matter of public record, so.
Yes, sir.
Scott?
Anybody aware what this camera is over here?
I'll find out. I believe it's sheriff's office. I'm not totally sure.
Maybe a security camera.
You can see the
It's the sheriff's office one, and it's turned off.
It's turned off, all right? All right, counsel, let's get ready when it's 4:30.
Judge, if I can just briefly consult with your the lead bailiffs in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you do not take your phones out. Make sure that your phones are off.
Scott, can we just tell?
Live stream.
I just want the court to know, it's harming to know, they may be the same source.
while the jury is out, state, this is exhibit what?
This is States B.
This is a video in question?
Yes, sir.
I'll consider your contemporaneous objection now on Fourth Amendment.
Yes, Your Honor, we had previously moved to suppress this video. We obviously are renewing that motion with all the arguments and authority that we set forth at that time.
Judge, the only other issue, the witness is going to have to, he's going to have to identify this for it to come in unless counsel wants to sit now, because the only reason I say that, it's going to take a few minutes for it to boot up. And that was the problem. We booted it up, we had it ready to go before the openings.
Ready, Judge?
Nope.
So,
We
what do
had
you
it
want
ready
to
to
do?
go before the opening statements, and when we went back to access it, it
What
crashed.
do you want me to do?
Well, I'm going to ask counsel if he'll stipulate the introduction of States B without predicate, so I can have them start booting it now, so that when I get to that point, his testimony is ready to roll.
Counsel?
Yeah.
I could proffer what his testimony will be, that he has viewed this and that this is his handwriting. He actually downloaded this from the District 3 office where it had been remotely uploaded from Officer Curtis's car. He made this accurate copy of, this is an accurate copy of the original Dashcam video.
I would love to be able to cooperate, but I just do not feel right about waiving the establishment of the predicate or authentication, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Let's proceed accordingly.
Yes, sir. Just it's going to take a couple minutes for it to boot up. Maybe what I'll do is when I ask him his name, or when you ask him his name, I'll just approach him and ask him to identify it, and then I'll try to move through my predicates with him beforehand while they're booting it.
Bring in our jury, please.
All rise. Jury hearing.
All right, our panel back in the courtroom is seated, and defendant and counsel are all present. Please be seated. Pardon that interruption. I apologize for that. We're ready to resume. State, please call your next witness.
State calls Detective Rudy McFarland.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony given this cause be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Right this way, sir.
Sir, please tell us your full name and then spell both your first name and your last name.
It's Rodolfo McFarlane, RODOLFO-MCFARLANE.
Thank you. Please move out a little bit closer to the microphone. Please proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I approach the witness?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm showing you States B, or what's marked as States B for identification, and I'm going to ask, do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how do you recognize it?
The report number and the names written on the disc, I wrote them.
Okay. And is this disc an accurate copy of the Dashcam video that was recorded during the traffic stop on June 29, 2010 at 50th Street and 23rd Avenue by Officer Dave Curtis?
Yes, it is.
All right. And did you actually download that from the District 3 office?
I downloaded it remotely from the District 3 office, yes.
Your Honor, I would tender States B.
Your Honor, I would like to voir dire the witness very briefly. Detective McFarland, do you utilize a program to download that video from the officer's dash cam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you been trained in the use of that program?
In downloading, yes.
Okay. Are you aware of whether the program, as it downloads, either in any way modifies the original or reformats it in any way? Are you aware of whether that happens?
That I know of, no, it does not modify the
best of your
video.
knowledge, it does not?
Correct.
All right. Was there any portion of the recorded video that was omitted or shortened or otherwise changed?
To the best of my knowledge, that video is complete.
Okay. I have nothing further, Your Honor, and no objection except as otherwise stated.
Okay. Note the prior rulings that will be received.
Detective, I apologize for kind of jumping the gun and approaching you before even getting into any questioning or having to introduce yourself, but this video, it does take a little while to boot up on a computer?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so while it's doing that, and now that it's in evidence, let me ask you some questions. How long have you worked for the Tampa Police Department?
A little over 23 years.
Okay. And are you a state certified law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir, I am.
Where are you currently assigned?
The Internal Affairs Bureau.
Okay, and Detective McFarland, back in June, specifically June 29, 2010, where were you assigned?
Also Internal Affairs.
Okay. Did you learn in the early morning hours of June 29, 2010, that two City of Tampa police officers had been murdered?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. And did you, subsequent to that, learn that there was a dash cam video recording of interest from Officer Curtis's car?
Yes, I did.
And were you given some task as far as that video is concerned?
Yes, I was.
And what was that?
My captain at the time asked that I remotely download 2 copies of the video, and I did so and presented them to her.
And what format were they downloaded to?
They were downloaded in a proprietary format from the program, but to a DVD.
To a DVD or a CDR?
Or CDR.
Okay. This system, the Tampa Police Department's, the system that they have in the patrol cars, it's the L3 video system?
L3 communications, yes.
And how was the video from Officer Curtis's car, how was that, you said you downloaded it remotely from District 3, how was it uploaded to the District 3 office?
Well, there's in layman's terms, there's a digital handshake that's done when a vehicle approaches the officer's assigned district, and there's a IP-based wireless transmission.
Okay. Does the car have to be within a certain distance of the district office?
Yes, it does.
And do you know that distance?
Offhand, I believe it's about 150 feet.
Once it's uploaded into, well, I know what I wanted to ask you. Can you explain to the jurors what district offices are in the City of Tampa?
Well, our department's divided basically into 3 districts, and 1 department, but we have 3 satellite offices, District 1, 2, and 3. District 1 is pretty much the west side of town. District 2 is the north side of town, and District 3 is pretty much centralized.
All right. So these district offices are out away from your main headquartered office down here in the city of Tampa, or in the downtown area of Tampa?
That's correct, they are.
Now, you said that you were able to download the video from the District 3 office remotely.
Yes.
So where were you when you were doing the downloading?
My office is based out of 411 North Franklin Street, police headquarters.
Okay. And you were able to do this by your computer?
Yes, sir.
Through a computer format or program of some type?
Yes.
And are you familiar with that format and that program?
Yes, I am.
And had you dealt with it before this incident?
Yes, I have.
And are you familiar with the L3 video system?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just pause it for a moment? Your Honor, I'm going to move to publish the video and ask that Detective McFarland step down and assist me by our laptop computer.
Just unblock the computer, review.
left side of the screen over here, does it have settings and tools?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And would that be this area that's reflected over here?
Correct.
Okay. I want to start on the top. It looks like these are divided off into sections with blue and blue writing titles. The top one, it indicates sound/video, that section. The first marker up here, VLP1 and VLP2, and then it says in-car audio. What do those stand for?
Those are, VLP 1 and 2 are microphones other than the microphone inside the car. So if the officer has a microphone attached to his lapel or his uniform, that's what those would be referring to.
Okay. And is that common practice, mechanical police department patrol officers to have a lapel microphone?
For these systems, yes.
And then you have an in-car audio.
Correct.
So that's picking up a microphone that's inside the I guess, the interior of the car, the passenger compartment?
Generally, it would pick up the interior compartment, and if the windows are open, any ambient noise, it might pick up also.
Underneath that same block, sound/video, is an indication that says switch to camera 2. So what does that do when you click on that?
Well, camera 2 is an auxiliary camera. If the camera's active, it will show the rear passenger seat. You know, for instance, if there was an arrested person or someone in the back seat of the car, it would show what's the activity that's going on in the back of that car.
Did Officer Curtis's car have an auxiliary camera?
Yes, it did.
And what part of his vehicle did it depict or show?
The rear passenger compartment.
Did it also show out the rear window?
Yes, it did. It was directed straight back from the center of the rear passenger compartment.
Okay. And Detective McFarland, what is this icon here?
That's a mute button.
Okay. That mutes the audio?
Correct.
Overall?
Yes.
Okay. Below that is a section in blue, it states second camera, and then it says, in a little box below that, show camera. What is that section?
Well, what this will do is it'll actually superimpose the view from the other camera on the main screen.
Okay, so you're saying a picture within a picture?
Correct.
And then move to corner by clicking these, are you moving that in camera or in picture around?
Just like it says, the corner that it depicts, whatever button you push, it'll put it at that portion of the screen.
And when the video starts its recording and starts showing here, are we going to be underneath this GPS section? Does that show certain geographical locations or speeds?
Sometimes it does. It depends on if it's active in the car. You know, but if it was, it would depict the latitude and longitude.
And the speed section, I'm assuming that's the miles per hour?
Correct.
Below that is SAT and a number?
Numbers of satellites and status of them, if they were active.
Okay, and then what is the heading?
Which direction the officer would have been headed had the GPS been active.
Okay. Below that, and I'm going to come back to the trigger section at the end here, but below that it says in blue, general, and then we see cause, lights. What does that stand for?
Generally, that's going to indicate what the trigger was, what activated the camera in this instance.
Okay. Below that it says officer, and then there's a box and there's several numbers going across. What does that section stand for?
That's the officer's payroll number, his city assigned number, and the time that it was activated.
Below that box is another box titled unit ID. What does that section contain?
That's the vehicle number, patrol vehicle number.
In this case, what was that number?
It's 738.
Below that is another box that states radar, target, patrol, and lock. What do those sections stand for?
If it's another feature of the L3 communication system, if it was active, it would show whether or not the radar was active, that the radar detection was active at the time.
Okay, and that would be the officer running radar for speeding
That's
violations?
correct.
Now going over to the right, we see a section that reads current time, available play time. What does that stand for?
Available playtime is how long the video, that actual video lasts.
And then below that, date, time, and it has a start. What's in that section?
That's the start time for that actual video segment.
And it has a date?
Correct.
And what is the date?
It's June 29, 2010.
And when is the start time that's showing?
0211.
So that would be 2:11 a.m.?
Correct.
And then to the right of that, there's an end section.
Yes.
And does that show when the video ends, the time it ends?
Yes, June 29, 2010 at 2:27.
So the video is going to run from 02:11 a.m. to 02:27 a.m.?
Correct, sir.
And then above that, it appears to be a toolbar that starts running the video itself?
Yes.
And it indicates here, it says, top scale tick marks are playtime 1 minute apart. Is that indicating these right here?
Yes.
So each of those, as this runs, is going to be a minute?
Right, that's made it a minute.
Can you take us across this bar here and just tell us what those icons do?
Well, what the far left button is a rewind button. It rewinds all the way to the beginning of the video segment. Obviously, the square is the stop. The triangle without a bar, single triangle is the play button. And then you have a fast forward button, and then you have a button that could take you all the way to the end.
And what does the T stand for in the circle T?
You know, I really don't recall what the T stands for.
Now, I want to go back up to the triggers section up here in the upper left-hand corner, this blue word triggers. Below that, it has several things. It says E-light, siren, brake, auxiliary, auxiliary. What does that section, what is it there for, and what is it there to show?
Well, the L3 system actually it will allow you to set certain activation triggers. Now, for instance, a certain speed or the officer activating his overhead lights or brakes, and that's what this box is going to indicate. As down here when we talk about general, where the cause was lights, the trigger was the emergency lights up here.
Which would be the overhead lights?
Correct.
So, this system, as it works inside of each of the patrol cars, is it constantly recording?
Yes, it records constantly with a 1 minute, approximately 1 minute buffer. So once the officer activates his lights or whatever that set trigger is, it's going to start the video from a minute prior to that. And that's just video. The actual audio will kick in at the time that the officer activates that trigger.
All right, so the trigger is when determines when the system saves the recording?
That previous minute, correct.
Okay, so it'll kick back a minute and save from that point forward?
That's correct.
So in this case, what was the triggering mechanism on this video?
His emergency lights.
So Officer Curtis, when he activated his overhead emergency lights, the system would have backed up a minute and started saving the recording?
Right, that's correct.
And when we're watching this, are we going to see when the lights come on?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You'll see the flashing lights, reflected off the hood of the car.
And when those lights come on, are we then going to see something light up over here?
Yes, you should see a red check mark or a red box in the emergency light.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your patience, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Detective McFarland.
Sir?
Okay. You've answered some questions, technical questions, regarding the nature of the video and what you know about the software already.
Okay.
Do you have any specialized training in this computer software? Have you attended any seminars?
In this software, no.
Okay. Any in-house training at Tampa Police Department?
In-house, yes.
Okay, could you give me an idea how many hours?
About 2.
Okay. Did any of that touch upon this particular L3 software, or no?
It was primarily regarding the L3 communications.
So you've got about 2 hours into this format?
Correct.
Okay. Educate us a bit, if you would, Detective. Where would this video be stored before the vehicle returns back to TPD? In other words, at the last point we saw there, that video would only exist on the recording device within the officer's car roadside, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And it would not be accessed then until it came within 150 feet, plus or minus, of a download point?
Accessed by the server?
By the server?
Yes.
Okay. Who maintains your servers, sir?
I do not know who maintains. I would assume it's our IT department.
Okay. Do you know whether it's your IT department or is it outsourced?
I don't know.
Don't know?
No, I do not know.
Okay. Do you know if those servers are standalone or are they internet accessible? I'm guessing from what you described from Mr. Harm that you accessed them from Franklin Street, so they would be internet accessible?
They are internet accessible, however, they are only within our network.
All right. Do you know anything about the encryption protocols?
I do not know. I know it's a secure server.
All right. And have you watched the entirety of this video?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What we just played now was a portion, isn't that correct? It's not the entire video downloaded from...
I believe that's the entire video.
Okay. Yeah, can we approach for a moment?
Yes.
Please continue.
Let me just rephrase my last question, Detective. Make sure you understand
One
what
second, Ms. Bowling doesn't have a question.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let me rephrase my last question, just make sure you understand. The portion of the video played in court, there's more to it than that, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Now I have no additional questions, Your Honor.
The redirection?
May I have just a moment?
1 second.
I just want to ask him a
Anything else, Counsel? Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor, thank you.
State anything else?
Yes, sir. Detective, if we pause that at 02:24:38, so 2:24 in the morning and 38 seconds, and the system indicates that it recorded through to 2:27 a.m., would you agree with me that there should be approximately about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the video?
More or less, yes.
Your Honor, we're going to publish the remaining 2 minutes, so we have a complete presentation. Does.
Yes, sir.
I have nothing else, Judge.
Anything further along those lines, Judge?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
May this witness be released, Dave?
Yes, sir.
Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're released, Dave. Thank you very much, sir. Counsel, report your minutes, please.
I'm sorry, Kathy, pull out.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
All right, just wait a minute.
And please spell out your full name and then spell both first and last names.
Catherine, Kathryn, Polite, Politte.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
How are you employed?
I work at Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
In what capacity?
I am a community service officer in the violent crime section, and I am in the custodian of records for the inmate phone calls.
What are your responsibilities as the custodian of records for inmate phone calls, ma'am?
I maintain the phone system. If inmate calls are requested, I download those calls, and I also give access to other sheriff's office employees if they need to pull a phone call.
You're responsible for the maintenance, care, custody, and control of those jail phone calls?
Yes,
Are those jail phone calls kept in the regular order of business of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office?
yes,
And do those jail phone calls, are those contemporaneously recorded with the phone call, at the time the phone call is being made?
yes,
Okay. Individuals who are in custody at Hillsborough County Jail, do they have access to telephones to contact, make telephone calls to people outside the jail?
yes,
Does an inmate have to complete any type of enrollment procedure to gain access to be able to use the jail telephone system to make those type of phone calls to people outside the phone, or
Yes.
outside the jail?
yes.
Can you describe that enrollment process the inmate must complete?
The inmate is asked to repeat a series of words repeatedly.
And is that because the jail phone call system has some type of voice recognition technology?
Yes.
Tell us about that, please.
The voice recognition, after the inmate repeats a series of words several times, it will pick up the same tones in their voice.
And from your knowledge as the custodian of records of jail inmate phone calls, has an individual by the name of Dontae R. Morris completed such an enrollment or application process to gain access to the jail telephone system?
Yes.
I want to show you what's been marked for identification at State's Exhibit L. compact disc, ma'am. From any markings on that exhibit, do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, I do.
Is that an exhibit you've seen and listened to recently? I'm
Yes.
sorry, listened to recently rather than
Yes.
seen? Okay. And having heard that recording contained within that compact disc recently, did you recognize that as the application recording made by Dontae R. Morris to gain access to the use of the Hillsborough County jail system?
Yes.
And did you mark that exhibit in any fashion so that you could recognize it for courtroom purposes?
Yes, I initialed it and put my sheriff's office ID number.
Your Honor, I move state's exhibit number, or letter L into evidence and ask to be able to publish.
L?
Without objection, Your Honor.
L will be received.
Judge, it'll take just a moment to do whatever we need to do. Watch out, watch out. We need to remove this.
Oprima el 2 para español. Press 1 for English. Oprima el 2 para español. Press 1 for English. Oprima el 2 para español. Press 2 to enroll. Press 1 to place a call. Telephone account setup will take less than 4 minutes and will provide you with your own secure telephone account, enabling you to place outbound calls. The first step is to enter your inmate number followed by the pound sign. Your voice will be your password. In order to learn your voice, you can either read the page titled Voice Enrollment Text or repeat short phrases I will say to you. Take a moment to locate the page, and when you are ready, press 1 to read the text or press 2 to repeat after me. If there is no page, press 2. I will ask you to repeat a number of different phrases for about a minute until I have learned your voice. After the tone, please repeat. This is what I'm thinking about.
This is what I'm thinking about.
After the tone, please repeat. That's what's on my mind.
That's what's on my mind.
Repeat. It's just like I said.
It's just like I said.
Repeat. That's the way it is for me.
That's the way it is for me.
Repeat. But they don't tell.
That they don't tell.
Repeat. What will we do about it?
What will we do about it?
Repeat. That's on my list.
That's on my list.
Repeat. If I was without.
If I was without.
Repeat. Yeah, just like the man said.
Yeah, just like the man said.
Repeat. One of these days.
One of these days.
Repeat. I think we have to go.
I think we have to go.
Repeat. I'm about to do it in a minute.
I'm about to do it in a minute.
Repeat. No, it's not my idea.
No, it's not my idea.
Repeat. Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Repeat. This is all we can do.
This is all we can do.
Repeat. It's not because I said so.
It's not because I said so.
Repeat. To think you are just like a brother to me.
To think you are just like a brother to me.
Repeat. I really think you should get there soon.
I really think you should get there soon.
Repeat. Call me and I will get it for you.
Call me and I will get it for you.
Thank you. Before you place a call, you will be asked to repeat one of the phrases we will go over now. You will be prompted for the same phrase multiple times. After the tone, please say United States.
United States.
After the tone, please repeat United States.
United States.
Repeat United States.
United States.
Say your first and last name.
Dontae Moore.
Repeat your first and last name.
Dontae Moore.
Repeat your first and last name.
Dontae Moore.
Thank you. Thank you. Enrollment complete. To place a call, please hang up and start your call again. Goodbye.
Ma'am, in addition to having to repeat one of those phrases that the inmate had recorded during the enrollment process, to gain access to the phone system, to actually make a call outside to an outside party, must an inmate enter any type of other identifying information?
Yes,
And what is that?
they need to enter their PIN number, which is their booking number, and 4 digits that they choose.
And is that PIN number unique to one and only one inmate housed at the Hillsborough County Jail?
Yes.
Let me show you what's been marked for identification as Exhibit U1, a compact disc recording, and U2, a Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office document. First, do you recognize what I'm showing you as U2, the document?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that document to be?
This is the call detail information for a phone call made by Dontae Morris.
On what date?
March 4th, 2011.
And does reference to that document, U2, in conjunction with having heard U1, assist you in being able to identify the voice on that compact disc U1 as being that of Dontae Morris?
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit U1, is that a recorded phone call made from Hillsborough County Jail by this defendant, Dontae Morris?
Yes.
And have you listened to that recently?
Yes.
And you know that to be such a recording because you have listened to it and you have marked that exhibit with your initials and the date you listened to it?
Yes.
You know, I move states exhibits U1 and U2 into evidence.
Counsel?
Your Honor, just for clarification, I did not see U1. Does it have a date on it as well, counsel?
I'm sorry, I thought I did.
I may have just overlooked it.
Okay.
The CD? Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor. Just for clarification.
So U1 and U2 are offered in evidence. Counsel?
We have no
They'll be received.
We have no further questions. We'll publish this exhibit at another date.
Questions of this witness?
No, sir, thank you.
May this witness be released, State?
Yes, sir.
Counsel?
Yes, sir.
And you release your speech. Thank you very much. Members of the jury, it's late, it's 5:30. Let's go ahead and recess for the afternoon. Again, the admonition is the same. The deputies will guard you, take care of you. Please don't talk about this case amongst yourselves during the break. Tomorrow, we hopefully will get started promptly at 8:30 this morning. We had some technical issues we had to get resolved. So you'll have hopefully a nice dinner, a nice breakfast, and we'll see you tomorrow about 8 o'clock or so. We'll start the trial at 8:30.
All rise.
Bring them with you this morning. Bring those with you. Bring those with you. Make sure you lock all your notes inside.
Our jury's left. You can all be seated. State, do you have a, you all be seated. You all have a list, are you going to continue with this list tomorrow?
Well,
We'll have one for you in the morning, Judge. We'll have it right now.
But of these folks right here, you still have more to call. You have Duran and,
Yes, those will be the first two witnesses in the morning, Your Honor. Dr. Kostowski.
okay. All right, 8:30. We'll start. We'll be here before. No, this will park so I also have lunch.
Oh, okay. All right, you guys want to collect everything for tomorrow?
The court's going to be locked, so y'all can leave anything you want to.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you can?
We will leave a
Okay,
number
so we can leave this here.
items. Thank you, Your Honor.
Great. And we can bring this.
Chris.
Yeah. Chris, I'm not going to bring most of this stuff. I'll always read it. I'll just print it out.
I've got everything in my box that I've got electronic record that's just here in case
Yeah.
you peach somebody with and hand it to them.
Do this here, too.
No.
Okay. I was talking to you.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, I agree. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I think I will.